Rifftrax. I don't have a big tracks, but riffs I'm missing. Why you always gotta pick Rifftrax? Rifftrax picks on the tracks we're ripping. It's your lucky day, it's time for Rifftrax.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. This is episode 5 of my series, Every Rifftrax Short Reviewed, where I take 5 Rifftrax shorts at a time in chronological order, review them, and give them a rating between 1 and 5. And as I've said before, I've never seen a bad Rifftrax short myself, so the points are good, great, awesome, fantastic, and spectacular. I don't have much of a preamble for this week, so let's get straight into it. Episode 5 of Every Rifftrax Short Reviewed. Number 21, Kitty Cleans Up, from July 29th, 2008.
You're going to school with me today.
Oh, please, God, no!
You're going to be in a pet show.
No, not another costume-based humiliation, please, no! Oh, God, why do you hate me so much? Why?
Now, I already thought that cats were creepy, but this cat here is nothing compared to its owner. This little girl is obsessing over her cat's cleanliness, so they'll win a pet show at her school. But this kid sounds like she's in her 90s, and her cat just looks so defeated as they both get ready for the day.
Here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty.
Turns out she has a pet Burmese python named
Here,
Kitty.
kitty. Come on now. You can't just sit there. You're the one who's going to be in the pet show today.
Oh, why do I even
Don't
live?
Those dirty... Mother says that meat makes Kitty big and strong.
Can I eat in peace?
The way she likes to eat.
Angry cat.
You'd think, now watch me.
Notice how I scrub my eyeballs?
And Mother washes my hair every week, so it will be shiny and strong, just like Kitty.
She's gonna be bald by
Comb my
15.
hair.
Oddly enough, even with the terrible voice, the annoying methods of hygiene, and the bad dubbing, I don't really have much to say about this one, and find the short itself to be pretty unmemorable.
Arms would be so much easier to wash if they didn't go all the way up to the shoulders.
Honey, there's a tub and shower 2 steps away.
It takes a lot of brushing to keep my hair shiny, too.
The hygiene death march continues.
Brush my... Mommy, have you seen Kitty?
No, I haven't.
Mommy's lip sync is always off before her morning coffee.
Well, good girl.
Look, nobody had to teach me this.
Now your neck and chest,
I'm doing it, oppressive child!
and do your other 2 paws while I brush my teeth.
Tell you what, honey, you come over here, sit on the toilet, and lick your feet while I bellow commands at you. See how you like it.
Kitty and I are ready for school.
Somebody help!
Bye, Mommy.
Hope Kitty wins.
So do I.
Honey, slip your soundtrack back a few frames when you get to school.
Other books.
While this short is pretty bizarre and drab to be sure, the guy's riffs help us along and get this entry a 1.5 out of 5.
Suddenly, the head judge committed a breach of protocol and gave Kitty the prize. A board of inquiry was impaneled, and 3 children were sent to jail.
I was so proud when Kitty won the prize.
Mark my words, I shall have my revenge.
Number 22, Why Vandalism, from July 31st, 2008.
Although they have no plans at the moment, these boys are headed for serious trouble before the evening is over.
I'm predicting they get involved in a pyramid scheme.
I say insurance fraud.
Gonna go out on a limb and say the trouble involves vandalism.
Last week, we saw the terribly depressing short, Each Child is Different, which taught elementary school teachers to consider that every single one of their students could have a horrifically awful home life. And here we have the sad tale of 3 young vandals. We're told by a narrator that these kids have also had terrible family lives. Well, all except for one, who's only a jerk because his parents care about him more than he would like. But all of this leads each of the boys down the path of vandalism.
These are the seeds of vandalism.
A local punk band.
And in a...
Why did I major in vandalism? It opens less doors than a classics degree.
A better understanding of right and wrong might steer these boys away from the direction they are heading.
South by
The
Southeast.
key to the problem is in the family.
This specific
It is
family.
here that moral... How can vandalism be reduced?
Invent video games 2 decades earlier?
Bingo.
A jukebox with nothing but big band music on it could drive anyone to a life of crime.
Oh, heck, it's locked. Hey, wait a minute. My house key fits almost all the doors in the school. Let me try.
I never mentioned that to you guys before, huh?
There.
Guess I figured you wouldn't believe me, it being so preposterous and all.
Is it? Could it be? Yes, this is what we came to see!
A guard walking by now might save these boys from doing things they'll be sorry for later.
Like listening to Donovan.
But guards can't solve the real problem.
They can if they have guns.
Oh, yeah.
To keep...
Let's see old man Cole get this off the board.
Sample this stool. Photosynthesize this plant. Organize this according to the Dewey Decimal System bookcase.
There is a major difference between this, and each child is different, however. Here we don't really get to see the vandals' pasts. Their backstories are given to us by the narrator, so we can focus on the vandalism that they commit within the short itself. But even without seeing it all, the narrator needs to be 100% sure that we know how sad and angry these kids are. And while I, and even the short itself, believes that you can't blame your painful past for your actions in the present, the short still does a good job making us feel bad for these kids.
Jeff has come to feel that everyone is against him.
The length of his enemies list rivals Richard Nixon's.
Perhaps his home is at fault.
Hey, leave me out of this. I'm just 4 walls and a roof.
In Jeff's hidden personality are many scars and many open wounds.
And many unwritten poems, all of them terrible.
And Ed Berger is a product of poverty.
Like store-brand cereal.
Perhaps the emptiness of a home that is lacking in love and affection.
Dear Jeff, we love you affectionately, Dad.
So Jeff has come to feel that the world is against him.
And it is.
Many people are nervous and fidgety, but they seem to be able to control their actions so that they're not destructive.
Be more like that guy is your advice?
In these...
You and you alone are responsible for the shocking, appalling waste you've caused.
So much stuff knocked over.
An emotionally manipulative story with a somber look at the vandals' mentality. This needlessly tragic tale gets a 3 out of 5.
Well, now what?
Want to trash this place?
Dewey,
let's go!
Number 23, Aqua Frolics, from September 30th, 2008.
Of all the fun afloat, there's nothing so insane as the racing puddle jumpers.
In the membrane?
No rules, no disqualifications, and they get away with anything.
Even murder.
Do you enjoy water sports such as swimming, water skiing, and diving? Well, I enjoy Aqua Frolics. Yes, the hipsterly pretentious name that you can use for anything involving water. You see, Aqua Frolics include feeding giant sea creatures.
Nobody feeds this fellow. In fact, these swimmers are a little afraid they might feed him.
Their deaths will serve as a warning to others.
Tropical waters spawn big denizens of the deep, such as the giant sea turtle.
Shown here next to Tom Cruise.
Playing underwater basketball.
It's a breathlessly exciting game, especially in a struggle for the ball, because the player who runs out of breath runs out of luck.
Whereupon they're disposed of in the shark tank.
Eating an entire dinner under the sea.
This time, it's a turkey dinner on the bottom of the lake.
It's called Drownsgiving.
And pretty much any other ridiculously stupid thing you can think of.
This time, the cameraman asks you to believe too much, a sort of pipe dream.
Smoke underwater.
But after it's a thrilling test of skill in fast water, and it's a master of the sport who gets through some of the rapids without disaster.
Most are viciously attacked by bears.
High diving into a pool is one thing, but from a 200-foot cliff, that is something else.
Extreme Aqua Frolic!
This time they fail to make it, and the big surf boat is turned around and driven back to the beach again.
Looks like they're stuck on Cuba. Enjoy the cigars, boys.
The slightest miscalculation, and he'd have his last headache.
The kind of headache where your brain comes out your ears.
High divers, here they come to the finish, and it's just what might be expected of the puddle jumpers.
So predictable, these puddle jumpers.
Yes, if you're tired of the usual summer fun, try some Aqua Frolics. This silly little thing gets a 3 out of 5.
And the battle of the toboggans behind a speeding motorboat is a novel variation of aquaplaning.
Which is itself a subset of Aqua Frolics.
The idea...
Number 24, Good Health Practices, from October 24th, 2008.
First, eat slowly and chew thoroughly. Food makes the best fuel when it is eaten slowly and chewed thoroughly.
So eat slowly and chew thoroughly.
This short features an odd narrator following these two children around while discussing different ways they can take care of their health. All along the way, the narrator makes some pretty weird analogies comparing the human body to cars, which is odd since the short has literally nothing else to do with cars at all.
Jim knows that his body must have food, Just like an automobile must have gasoline.
Cheap, inexhaustible gasoline.
Gasoline to go fast on the highways.
Speeding to the store for a carton of healthful cigarettes.
When you are tired, you're like a toy car with its spring run down. Rest is what winds the springs so you will be ready to run again.
Everything in the world is like some sort of car.
Random analogies aside, I forgot how good this one is. Rewatching it for this episode was absolutely hilarious, and I laughed way more than I expected.
Your body uses fuel all of the time, even when you're sleeping.
This boy in his underpants dragging a log illustrates it well.
Yes. Different foods must go together to make the best fuel for you.
Like fish
Mothers
and
know
miscellaneous.
how to put these foods together. Eat all of the food that is served to you. Then you won't run out of fuel when your engine needs it most.
Your fork is a shovel that must keep moving in spite of all your body's natural instincts.
Do you think Jim will pass inspection? Well, let's see. Neck clean? Yes, indeed.
Resemblance to Ralphie from A Christmas Story? Yes, indeed.
To make healthful meals. When the foods are together the right way, we call it a balanced meal.
When they're together the wrong way, it's called Denny's.
Don't eat too many sweets. Sweets are party food for special times. Fruits always are a good dessert.
But not at parties. Eat party foods at parties.
Fruit helps. Brain work takes a great deal of fuel.
And translating Mein Kampf by hand is certainly brain work.
Wash your hands with plenty of soap and hot water.
It helps if you mutter to yourself, unclean, unclean.
Fruit helps you to follow good toilet practices.
So think about that with every bite you take.
Don't be bashful or silly about toilet habits.
Talk about them freely to strangers.
Remember, but good rest practices mean resting when you should rest, not just when you feel tired.
Times you should rest include every time you see a cat, whenever someone calls you buddy, and whenever you envision the person you're talking to being engulfed in flames.
From the goofy narrator to the fantastic riffs from the guys, I've got to give this one a 4.5 out of 5.
Young children don't have to know all of the ways that food should go together. Your job is to learn good eating practices.
Mommy and Daddy aren't coming back until you do.
First, eat.
Number 25, Good Eating Habits from October 31st, 2008.
After school, of course, Bill was hungry. He was hungry, and he had some money.
So he ate his money.
Do you eat too quickly? Do you not finish everything on your plate? Do you overeat? Do you eat candy and cookies and pop for your afternoon snacks? Even worse, do you do all of these things on the same day? Then unfortunately, you have some bad eating habits. But don't worry, Coronet is here to help.
Just look at that plate.
You filthy bastard.
He didn't eat anything bad today, did he?
Well, he did eat that dead rat in the basement.
But there's still something wrong, isn't there, Bill?
You've killed again, haven't you?
Well, perhaps it wasn't what he ate, but the way he ate it.
Passing it up through his nose.
Why, even the small Bill got to the table, and he ate his breakfast. Or rather, part of it.
Well, he ate his napkin.
Orange, you have a stomachache, it isn't any fun to play.
Not even with the world's slowest train set.
He was tired.
From a hard day of eating.
And do you think he ate enough?
Before you answer, you should know that Bill's dead.
Then Bill didn't feel hungry anymore. No, sir. For once, he had eaten too much.
Bill grew up to be Drew Carey.
And rushed through your meals. And didn't eat enough good food.
Now breakfast hates you.
And then, in the afternoon, all those sweets.
And now food will haunt you, waking or sleeping.
As seems to be the pattern with most of these educational shorts, some of the advice here, such as take your time while eating, is pretty solid. However, some of the other tips, such as making sure to eat every single thing you possibly can all day without question, are not so good.
Chew your toast thoroughly.
Bill.
That's the way. Chew and chew.
Come on, chew!
Doesn't it taste extra good that way?
In fact, you should pre-chew your lunch and pack it in squeeze bottles.
What? And in class, studying seems easier.
It's because you accidentally went to the first grade, Bill.
Breakfast is more fun this way, isn't it?
Better say yes, or Dad'll take you down.
Drink your juice a little at a time. Doesn't it taste good?
My God, juice is fun!
Time, but when you eat it in small bits, you can chew it better.
Thank you, Felix Unger.
It tastes. Now you're eating pretty well.
You won't win any prizes.
Will you do? At supper time, you're hungry again.
You gluttonous
Everything
fat ass.
tastes good. That's the idea, Bill.
Eat till your heart
A
hurts.
good snack. See what good eating habits can do for you?
Can I stop eating now?
Looking for seconds.
No, I was trying to get out of here.
Don't forget the midnight buffet, Bill.
Oh, no.
Chew!
Finish all your food.
Then break up your plate and bowl and eat them as well. Melt your spoon into small ingots and swallow them.
After supper, you feel fine.
And then wham, massive
No
blood
stomach
clot.
ache.
Trying to teach us to eat well, but accidentally teaching us to eat kind of poorly, this enjoyable gluttonous short gets a 3.5 out of 5.
Think you know now about good eating habits?
Now let's teach you to coordinate your stripes, Bill.
As always, I really hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
It's time for Rifftrax.